Friends, Greg Newmaster coming at you again with another action figure review. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe and help me build up my channel because I love reviewing action figures. I love talking about comic books and just all these wonderful toys, quote unquote, Joker, Batman 1989, that we have now that we didn't have when I was growing up in the 80s and 90s. They've just gone off the rails in terms of how awesome and good and spectacular and articulated and painted and sculpted they are. Man, what a time to be a collector. That being said, today I have Medicom Mafex Batman Hush, the villain Hush. A few words about the story Hush, drawn by the magnificent Jim Lee, which is why we're getting all these figures from Mafex right now. I've already done a review on Batman and Superman, and now I have Hush. It was such a great story. It was probably one of the best Batman stories ever. Definitely up there in the top 10 in terms of Batman story arcs. It was almost perfect, could have been better. My complaint about the story is the actual character of Hush. I think Hush is kind of stupid as a character, and I think it would have been better if they would have just left it as it was and made him Jason Todd, who's now the Red Hood. And I think DC saw this. I think DC saw like how everybody was just like, their minds were blown when we saw that Hush was actually Jason Todd. And this was the guy who was stalking Batman, and he cut his line in the comic and Batman almost died. And then they introduced Tommy Elliott, who's actually the character Hush. And but then it's revealed that it's Jason Todd, but then that's a fake out, and then we find out that it's Tommy Elliott, who has this stupid vendetta against the Waynes and Bruce Wayne and Batman because Thomas Wayne saved his mother, and Hush actually wanted to be an orphan, which is just a ridiculous motive to become a supervillain. It made so much sense to be Jason Todd. They had brought him back. It was like, oh my goodness. So I got this figure not for Hush. I got it for the Jason Todd likeness. So I'm excited for it for that. Maybe some of you actually like the character Hush. I don't care so much about that. I just love the way he looked as Jason Todd. And in my mind, I'm just going to pretend that it was Jason Todd the whole time. And DC sort of retconned Hush with Under the Red Hood story, and it's very similar. But it would have been perfect if it was Jason Todd the whole time. So I digress enough talking about that. Let's get into the figure. Here's the typical box. Looks fantastic. All the Hush boxes have these blue boxes. There's a picture of Hush down there. There he is on the side. There he is on the back. There's all the different head sculpts and accessories you get. Normally I just throw away the packaging, but these collector's items, I keep the boxes for these in case I want to resell them someday or just store them away in the box because these are such nice boxes. Here's the official Medicom sticker. It's like that hologram sticker. So make sure that has that on the bottom so it's not a knockoff. And let us open this guy up so you can get a... Oh, look at that artwork in there. There is Jim Lee's famous artwork. I mean, is there a better comic book artist? Honestly, was there ever a better comic book artist to come along? Some people may say yes. There's Todd McFarlane. There's John Romita Jr., Steve Ditko. Some people might love the classics of Stan Lee and Steve Ditko. There's a lot of great artists that come along, but I think Jim Lee is the best comic book artist of all time, in my opinion. And there is his artwork in that box. So you get the standard. Oh, they give you directions. So you can swap out his emblem, the R emblem for the H emblem, and then different utility belts. There's a Robin utility belt, and then there's a Hush utility belt. So that's cool. I love that feature. I'm not going to open these directions, though, because I don't want to ruin this tape in this bag. I like to keep that stuff nice. You get the stand in the back. I'm not going to open that up either. You guys have probably seen them 50 million times. They all look the same. So here is the hard part here. I'm going to try and open this up without the accessories just exploding all over the place, which they normally do. And see if we can get a look at this figure. Oh, by the way, I just randomly got this from Big Bad Toy Store. It looks like they're finally starting to catch up on certain things with the supply chain. I ordered this figure a long time ago. So, you know, I'm randomly getting stuff. I also got a email that my Mafex Gambit is coming in. So I should be getting that by the end of the week. So expect a review for Gambit as well. Which oh darn it. See, that happens to me every single time. I'm gonna put some stickums right there, so all the accessories just don't fall all over the place, which they already are doing. And put that there and pull out the figure so we can experience this together. And there he is, Hush. I love how they just take such care with these. They put the little plastic strips in there to protect the paint. So I'm going to have to rip that off to get it out of there. Oh, and I lost his head already. But yeah, very nice, very beautiful figure. Just really gorgeous sculpt. I can't gush enough about Mafex. They're probably my favorite toy designer right now. Just the level of detail, the quality. I think they blow Bandai out of the water with the SH Figure Arts. The scale is just a little bit better. The sculpts are better. Bandai tends to be really clunky and ugly looking. But I mean, just look at that, guys. Look at how beautiful that is. You can see the different shades of blue in the mask. His head's a little bit loose on this, but look at the cloak, the nice Gambit trench coat. Unfortunately, it's not cloth, it's not cloth. It's not a soft goods coat, unlike the Gambit one that's coming. That's my only complaint about this figure off the bat. Is I wish it was soft goods, but it looks great. I mean, they do the vinyl because that way they can sculpt it and paint it and make it look perfect. So it does add to the look, but I just love the soft goods better. That's a real nice, soft, rubberish vinyl feeling. It's shaded, looks really terrific. And we will go. So there is the Hush head. Let's go through the heads first. So that's the standard head that comes on the figure. The eyes look great. He has the gritted teeth. I'm going to pop this head off, actually. And here is the alternate head sculpt of Hush that you get. And it's just a frowny face and not the gritted teeth, but it looks great. He looks like the Mummy. He's all wrapped up in cloth and whatnot. And that pops on there real nice. But I don't care about Hush. I don't really care about Hush at all. I actually care about Jason Todd, who I think is one of the coolest reinvented Batman characters of all time. The tragic second Robin, who was killed by the Joker, beaten to death by vote of comic book. Look at that head sculpt. The nice streaks of gray in the hair. There's blue highlights. The beautiful red mask. I even like the way the hair is styled. It just looks great. Very Jim Lee. But anyhow, yeah, Jason Todd, the second Robin. He was killed by vote back in the 80s. And then he was brought back first with this story, and then they saw how popular it was that they brought him back. And wow, I guess the pouches come off, so that's cool. Pouches come off of the utility belt. Let's see if I can get... Oh, and there's actually a little hinge on there. That's awesome. There is a hinge on there, and you can place it on the utility belt, so there's movement. Kind of fell off though right now, so can't get that back on there. There we go. But anyhow, they brought him back in the Under the Red Hood story because of Hush, and I just love Jason Todd. So let's go through some articulation. His arm just easily came out of the socket, so I guess you can take the coat off if you want. And actually, I'm going to do that right now so we can get a good look at the articulation. However, I don't like how loose that is, and I wish they would have, if you're going to give him the vinyl cloak, I wish they would have given him an extra set of arms. We could have done with that instead of the extra set of hands, and I don't like how loose this is in the shoulder joints. It's pretty loose. So that would have been really nice if they would have given a nice set of arms, sculpted muscular arms. But we have the perfect articulation. Shoulders go up this high. I don't like how easily this is popping out of the shoulder socket though. The head, full rotation. We have a double joint in the neck here, and then we have a joint in the neck as well. So pretty much all the neck articulation anybody would ever want. The torso, we got two joints in the torso, huge crunch and back bend capability. So you can get him into some really dynamic poses. There's also a cut at the waist, so the hips rotate as well. This, I guess you'd call it like a cloak, or sort of like a kimono or a gi look. You know, this is a soft plastic here, this piece of fabric that's supposed to be. So it's a soft plastic, so you can do the straddle about that far. He does have a lot of pouches on him though. The kick goes up about that high, slightly hindered by his costume. We get the double jointed knees. I love these greaves. They look fantastic. Shin guards, greaves, whatever you want to technically call them. Ancient Romans called them greaves. And then the forearms are called the bracers. Learned that in Italy when I studied Christian art and architecture in Rome. We got nice pivot in the ankle joint that goes up and down. We even got a mild toe joint, a little bit unnecessary though, because it doesn't really have a large range of motion there. We got double joints in the elbows, but even though we do, there isn't much of a bend there. So it's kind of pointless. And once again, this is why I wish they would have went with a soft goods coat instead of sculpting it. I'm just always a fan of the soft goods when it comes to capes and coats. So I'm looking forward to the Gambit figure that's going to be coming soon. But he just looks great. I mean, looks fantastic. Let's see here. Know how you... Yeah, so that's how the Hush emblem comes out. And I'm definitely going to switch that out. I don't know if you guys can see that there. It's fantastic. That's what it looks like from the back. And then you can just plug that in there like so. And I'm going to swap that out for the Robin, actually, so you guys can see that, because as I have said, I am a Jason Todd fan. Yeah, I mean, this story, I mean, it was just a missed opportunity to do. They could have done the Under the Red Hood story here and combined the two. And what a... It was just such an emotional punch when you thought that was Jason Todd come back from the dead to see Bruce and to get vengeance because he felt slighted. He felt like you left me behind, you deserted me sort of thing. Or why didn't you kill the Joker? Why didn't you avenge me? I just thought that was such a great idea. So I'm switching that out for the Robin R, and that looks great. Just a nice classic Robin insignia. I'm going to put that in the port there, and that looks great. So now he's fully Jason Todd, except for the utility belt. And I'm going to swap that too. And you can just pull them apart like so. That's great. You can even take this sort of skirt off, maybe. Oh, actually you can. It's glued on there pretty well, so you can't take the skirt off. But you can switch utility belts, and there's even a little port here, if you can see that on the belt. So you can stick that in there and just port him back into the hip port, and there we go. And now he's Robin, which Jason Todd Robin, which I like way better. He just looks fantastic. Very good. Great job, Mafex, as usual. Looks like there's a little bit of red, a little bit of quality control, but not usually. So what other accessories do we have? Of course, we got more hands than you want. I like how they put them on these little plastic pegs now too. Kind of just keeps them together. So we got those hands. Another set of like closed hands. Actually, I'm going to be displaying his guns, just like Jason Todd. If he didn't have the guns, I'd probably display him with these Batarang hands, which are just awesome. But because he has guns, I will use the gun hands. And here's what the guns look like. You get two of them. Very nicely painted. Beautiful. Silver and brown. Just the level of detail is terrific. You also get Two Faces coins. I don't know. I'm gonna probably just leave them in there. They're so small. I don't know if you guys can see them because of my gigantic hands, but there is detail on them. And I don't know if the camera can even pick that up, but there's Two Faces coins. You get two of those, and what else? I am missing one more thing, and you get one Batarang. Just a nice little Batarang that comes with it as well. So just a really great figure. I'm going to swap these hands out, fisted hands, which always come on the figure, and I'm going to put on the gun holding hands. I think those are these. No, that looks too tight. Let's see. I think that's this one. So you guys can see what it looks like. It's a really hard plastic. That's my only problem. It makes me nervous. But yeah, there we go. And then we have the nice gun holding hands. Check that out. Doesn't that look great? Yeah, so I'll probably display him holding his guns. And I'm going to take this one out. That's the thing, though. You know, I don't want to complain about accessories because I love the accessories. But it's like you just get so many of them, and then they just end up sitting in the box or sitting in a baggie. And you know, it's a little bit overkill. So my overall impression is this is an amazing figure. It looks great. The articulation is amazing. The sculpt, the painting, everything you would want. And you can display him as Jason Todd Robin, or you can display him as Hush. I'm going to display him as Jason Todd because he just looks badass. My only complaint is I wish he had a soft goods cape or cloak. I'm sorry. And oh, look at that little strap there too. That's a nice touch. Soft goods or an alternate set of arms. so you could display him with the black muscular arms instead of the brown ones. I'll put that on for you one more time so you can see what he looks like completed. It is a really nice sculpt, though, for the trench coat. It looks really good. It looks like Gambit, or, well, I mean, it's not even Gambit. It's everybody took the Blade Runner. It's the Blade Runner coat. That's where they got the idea for Gambit's coat, obviously. Obvious inspiration. Oh, there's wrist joints, just so you can see that. Full rotation wrist. I didn't go over that, but yeah, he just looks great. Great figure. Great to go with all the Hush figures that are coming. There's Catwoman. There is the Joker, and I think we're going to get Nightwing as well. So it's a wonderful figure. If you like the video, guys, please like and subscribe. This is Mafex Batman Hush. God bless you all, and peace.